So, Tataru, a general summons. Tataru has news for you from Ul'dah. General Raubahn says that he may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts, and he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Firemac, pressing through Ishgar's plight may be our... Though Ishgar's plight may be... Pressing though Ishgar's plight may be... There we go. Our presence here will not serve to hasten the Mana Cutter's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanalan and lend what aid we may. Tataru, we have our friends at the congregation send a message to Istinian. Have our friends at the congregation send a message to Istinian. Tell them we have identified a solution to our problem and that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the Waking Sands, warrior of light, 'tis time Ul'dah was delivered from this darkness. God damn it, why are we going to the Waking Sands? I return to the Waking Sands. Hey, it's the crew.
Thank you for coming.
Raubahn looking mighty fine, man.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
I gather you have made progress in the search for her grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
I'm trying to remember if I remember that from the Alchemist questline.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady-in-waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, warrior of light? Will you lend me yours?
Of course, Raubahn, man. Anything for you, buddy.
Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friends, for Nanamo, and for Ul'dah!
What you got to say, Alpha New? If one had chosen to entrap the Sultana in a death-like sleep rather than slay her, then one must surely also know of a means to rouse her from said state. There must be an antidote to this poison. Our target is Marielle. Marielle, yeah. The Sultana's former lady in waiting, a woman of Midlander heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Yep, we have. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the merchant's residence and confirm that Marielle is still not hiding there. Oh, that's literally in the same place here. Like the same region, I should say. I believe this is the first time I actually bothered to include that spot for the main quest. Because it was largely... yeah, it was just largely a side area that some side quests took you. Yeah, see, it's all the way down there. So we're gonna... Wait, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that at all. There's a ship here. I can take the ship there. I'm pretty sure we can. Let me see. No. Never mind. I think that ship did it. You know what? It may be worth trying. Yes! Yes! Shortcuts! Shortcuts, you gotta love them. Danielle. Marielle, aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's one of the closest to the market entrance. Hey, it's Kiki Poo. Greetings, Firemac. What can I do for the Silver Bazaar's favorite adventurer? Looking for Marielle, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Ul'dah, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Spotted Meadow. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. Oh, my masters will not be pleased to hear of this. If I recall, I think she's behind a house or something. Maybe in here. Bam. I remembered correctly. Got you now.
You are Marielle, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me.
Don't even start. Don't even start.
General Alden.
Let's not test his patience.
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Nah, there's Lolorito.
Lolorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim.
House Thorn? House Thorn.
'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Mariel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
Freaking Lolorito.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution.
No, don't like that.
Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed.
Lolorito, I don't think you should be saying those things.
Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive. And preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial?
It was
Though
also
you acted out of
satisfying.
loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. if you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Raubahn Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
Well, that was rather eventful, wasn't it? What's up, Yugiri? You had killed the one you served. Pray excuse my mutterings. I was reminded of a line from an old poem. By the 12, I feared Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Awakening in Ul'dah, Ul'Nah would see his dark chapter in Uldah's history brought to a close. Shall we also make our way to Ul'dah? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. Aw yeah, go on back, go on back. Up the goes gravity, up the goes gravity. It's a royal promenade. What's up, Yugiri? What you got to say, girl? I hope Lolorito's potion isn't as effective as he claims. We hope so too. It would appear that the Syndicate has moved swiftly to clear our names. Bartholomew, for one, does not seem remotely surprised by our presence here. Flame General Raubahn mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way if you will. Look at the poor girl just slumbering.
I was having the longest dream.
Tis time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in Thanalan, and the sun blazes bright upon the sands.
Getting a little emotional.
Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she is none the worse for her slumber.
Look at him, he's all happy now.
I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Uldar into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. But what our city truly thrives upon is competition. 'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Oh, wait, I have it. The Agrias, yes, well. 'Twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle. My lords and lady, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teleji Adeleji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
"'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order, but 'twould seem the worst of the confusion has passed. Uldar has taken control of its future, and I must do the same."
I meant to send this earlier, but yeah, Ulda is basically, just, it's a capitalist society, that's all it is.
I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves.
Was it not already?
Among the recruits, there were those who supported our order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified Grand Company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low. I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more. The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
So we're talking about Alphino? Fellow Scion, man. I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil. But the fact remains, there is no man alive in whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never have emerged from beneath the pall of my despair. A brave resolution, Alphino would know how things stand at the Rising Stones. Still no word from Master Garland. I hope this mana cutter of theirs is nearing completion. I'm assured that her grace will make a full recovery. I, and old Atu, shall flourish once more. General Raubahn and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Gray, a question, if I may. I believe your people have been keeping close watch on the Crystal Braes. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones? Ah, yes, of course. You will be pleased to know that the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Revenant's Toll when they learned of Captain Ilbert's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there now are those worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino. To me? I see. I'm grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Ere we return to Ishgard, I must go to the Rising Stones and thank these stalwarts for their service. It shall be my final act as Crystal Brave Commander. Will you join me, Firemac? You were there at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting that you be present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. You got it, boy! Enter the Rising Stones. Alien. I think that's Alien. Yeah, Alien! So I guess she wasn't dead. She must have escaped. Maybe? Something like that. Alien and Raoul, and those other people, I do not know them. Wilred would have been one of the good ones, too. Poor Wilred. Commander, you're alive! And Firemac too, I knew you'd scrape through. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you, all of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. Bah, you'll not hear us complaining. 'Twas a sight messier than expected, aye, but we was still fighting for the freedom of all. Just like we swore. Ain't that the right, mates? Aye. You humble me. I am truly blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most profound regret that I must. That's enough of it. That's enough of that, Commander. We know that you've a mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. We talked it over, see, and we're all agreed. You can take You can take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but it won't be no less of a company. But the Crystal Braves... The Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals upon which the company was founded live on. They bind us to each other, and to you. Commander Alphino, our minds are made up, so you may as well get used to it. Let us help the science, let us help you find Minfilia and the others. My friends, after all that has happened, I know not what to say. Is that a cat I just heard? That was not a cat. Alright, so Raoul. I don't know if you know, but during the goddamn feast, Flamin got ambushed by some 3rd unit curs over in Limsa. I'm told she danced free of them in their noose though. Ain't heard nothing since, but my guess is she's lying low somewhere in the port. We'll find the missing science, I promise you. Between us and the mortal flames, no stone and arrows will be left unturned. If we scrutinize the science records, they should provide us with a likely location to which missing Archons might have fled. But your mind is at ease. It is for work just as this that we have been trained. FME. Actually, I think I remember seeing that name before. Firemac Summers, I joined the Crystal Braves in the hopes of following in your footsteps. I do not regret the decision, not even for a moment. I feel blessed to have witnessed such a display of camaraderie. We must repair the damage if our minds are to find focus. Now, where to begin? Ermigish! It's Argimhus. I don't know how to say that name, whatever. First things first, we must needs put the Rising Stones in order. We cannot have the Archons return to find their headquarters in such a shambles. We got Hozan over here. I sent Shinobi to spy upon the brass blades. It would seem that Ida and Papalimo's resistance accounted for a sizable number of the company's soldiers. All we know for certain, however, is that our friends' corpses were not found amongst the bodies they left behind. Cool. Hey, McGee! Alphino, please. Excuse me. I had thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the consistency of his comrades. Mayhap I am the exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest. I know that I'm not worthy of their loyalty, Firemac. But as Staliak as my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it.